Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Well, you guys saw what I saw. The Knicks lose their fourth straight to the Brooklyn Nets, 116 to 109. And really the game wasn't as close as that score would make it out to be. The Knicks made a late run in the fourth quarter. But to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the game wasn't as close as it looks. The Brooklyn Nets blew it open in the second quarter with their bench squad. It wasn't even KD. I mean, KD played a great game, but it wasn't KD. It was the Brooklyn Nets offense. That up-tempo, fast-paced, run around, chase the three-point shooter type of offense. The Knicks couldn't handle it. I was upset, though, because I wanted to get this win, man. You know me, I always want to get the win. Looking at the box score tonight, man, for the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant, he came in looking smooth as ever. And I'm trying to tell you, man, it's not that many people ever in the history of the NBA that's going to play as smooth as Kevin Durant plays. That dude is just, I mean, everything looks effortless with Kevin Durant. He had 26 points tonight. He had 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Jeff Green, he did his thing in his position, played his role. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds. DeAndre Jordan had a couple of plays where he let Mitchell Robinson know that I'm still the big brother and you're still the little brother. 9 points, 12 rebounds, put a couple of shoulders in Mitchell Robinson's chest, dunked on him off an alley-oop. Just had to let him know. Oh, Mitchell Robinson played well, but DeAndre Jordan just had to let him know a little bit. Joe Harris, he had 15 points, 3 assists, couple of rebounds. Bruce Brown, I keep wanting to say Bruce Broman. Bruce Brown, he had 15 points, 14 rebounds for Bruce Brown. I mean, he had guys all over the place for the Nets, giving contributions. Guys that you don't even know exist, like Reggie Perry. Like, I'm like, who is Reggie Perry? He had 13 points and 5 assists. He's a rookie, second-round pick. Nicholas Claxton, he had 11 points. Timothy, I can't even say his last name, Luwawa Cabarro, he had 13 points. Chris Chiozza he only had 3 points. The Knicks couldn't keep up, ladies and gentlemen. They couldn't do it. Julius Randle led the way. He was playing. He wanted to prove to Kevin Durant and to everybody else that he's on that level. He had 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists tonight. RJ Barrett in the second half finally got going. In the second half. Found some space, started knocking down shots. Hopefully this is a good sign for things to come. He had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Mitchell Robinson had 10 points and 12 rebounds. Off the bench, Emmanuel quickly came in, played a good game. He had 19 points. Kevin Knox, he had 13 points. They played a little, they tried to play. Obi Toppin had 57 seconds. That's all I can say. He didn't get a chance to do anything, which I guess you would expect, right? Anyway, the New York Knicks lose to the Brooklyn Nets in pretty much easy fashion. They kind of cruised throughout this game. And it was that fast-paced Mike D'Antoni offense, man. You can see that Mike D'Antoni imprint all over the offense. T. Crow, man, let me know. Let me know how you felt about this loss tonight.
Oh, man, it was disappointing and depressing, really. I felt like they didn't come out with enough fight. I felt like I was saying off air, I think the Nets were feeling the pressure prior to the game or prior to today, prior to the trade. And once the trade happened, I think it was like a relief where now it was like no worries. Whatever happens tonight, you know what I mean? They get to play freely because there's no pressure on some of these guys that killed us. But I mean, you gotta give hats off to the Nets, man. They played a complete game as a team. And we did not.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, people are saying that the Nets don't have any depth, after this trade. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I mean, you look at, they played with guys who wasn't getting a lot of burn, and they came in and they put in work. Now, but see, that's what Mike D'Antoni's offense, the way Mike D'Antoni plays, that's what it is designed to do. Your role players can excel under a Mike D'Antoni system. Your role players excel. And you look at what these guys did tonight, they had us running all over the floor. The first half, I did a halftime show with Die Hard Knicks. And I said, look, if we don't get somebody else that can help us score the basketball, because in the first half, only Julius Randle was scoring. We don't get somebody else that can help us score the basketball. We can't keep pace with these guys. Even if we do get somebody, I knew we couldn't keep pace with them. Their offense, the way they move, they're just flying around the court all over the place, and guys are running. There's no way that we was going to keep pace with them and be able to score at that clip and then be able to play defense, because we're going to tire out. That is Mike D'Antoni's entire strategy. Make you work on defense because everybody's running around, moving all over the place, and they pull quick shots. And you just can't keep pace with them. That's his entire strategy. And you've seen it tonight. You've seen it tonight with the Nets, man. They just play fast. They shoot accurate. The Knicks tried to play some good defense in that first quarter. They got down. They took the lead. Went back and forth. It was 26-25 in the first quarter. When that bench came in, it was a wrap. That second quarter, Knicks went down 15 quickly. You know what I mean? That bench plays the defense. The defense on that bench needs work, man. It needs work. I mean, obviously, the entire game, we had some problems defensively, but too many times, in my opinion, when the subs come in, we have trouble. We have some times where they do well, but a lot of times we have trouble. We had trouble with those subs tonight. You know what I mean? That second quarter, our bench was terrible. Jarrell, what you think about the game?
Echo some of this, most of the same sentiments. The second quarter was crazy. We got down, like the second half of that second quarter was embarrassing. Like that was the worst quarter, at least that like 8-minute span that I've seen that we played all season, I think. That's when everything went off the rails. Obi not playing more than a minute was weird. I thought Taj Gibson was going to get some burn. He didn't. That would have helped on defense, to me at least. The defense wasn't there, obviously. We didn't have a good, complete game. Finally, we ended up scoring more than 90, got over 100, and we still couldn't play defense today, though. Like, this was like the first game that the offense was there and the defense wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I don't know if the offense was there just because when you're playing against a Mike D'Antoni team, they're putting up so many shots, you're going to get more shots, right? You're playing a faster pace, or because, well, I guess, RJ Barrett finally started to score the basketball, man. He finally, got into a nice rhythm in that second half, the top of the second quarter, the first 7-8 minutes in that second quarter, he finally started to get a little bit of rhythm and knock down some shots. We need this from him every night, man. We need it from him every night.
Quickly too.
Yeah, quickly too. I wish that Quickly would start to pull that shot up instead of always doing the runner. He does a little floater. I wish he would pull himself straight up in the air and just shoot the jumper.
Right.
I feel like he would make a higher percentage of those, but Quickly was hooping tonight. You know what I mean? And, he put a little bit of pressure on Brooklyn's defense sometimes. Devon, what do you think, man?
Starting backcourt got outplayed big time. I mean, Bruce Brown and Harris gave it to Peyton and Rivers tonight. So
gave it to him.
I think they gave it to him tonight. They just wasn't. Brett Brown, a little strong dude, so I was surprised that him and Peyton got that same body type. But Brown was more active than Peyton was tonight, and Rivers couldn't hit the bottom of the ocean. So it was, until the end of the game when he had a couple open shots. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what they're gonna do, but Nerlens Noel just be going MIA, missing in action. I don't know what's up with that brother, yo.
He don't even
It's
rebound
like
the
he
ball.
just not trying to give it to us. Yeah, man, it's scary the way he plays. So I think Taj might come in and take his minutes, man. And I really do, because he's not giving that energy like I thought he would. You know what I mean? And, but I think that the starting backcourt really was the issue tonight. You know what happens? Peyton been playing holding down for us. So I ain't even mad at him individually, but you got to take the bad with the good. Him and Austin Rivers got played tonight. They got outdueled tonight. Joe Harris and that brother Brown was giving it to him tonight. So I mean, you know, but I was happy with quickly bouncing back, like I said in the pregame. I think they got to get and just take that chance and give Knox the minutes, and see what happens. But I'm not too, Sim, I'm not totally disappointed, because I mean, when you're slumping, you're slumping. But I'm glad to see RJ came out of it. I'm glad to see quickly came out of it. So maybe that might be the sign of them, to help the team turn around. But I still got confidence in what we're doing. I just think that we just got to put it all together. But tonight that backcourt got played out tonight, bro.
They got they got played out big time tonight. You know what I mean? They're running around like chickens with their head cut off, trying to play defense on them guys, man. I thought Austin Rivers was a better defender than he's shown me the last couple of games. I really did. He's getting beat on backdoor cuts. I mean, I'm like, come on, man. And then, he either looks like this, like, what did I do? Or he'll point to himself when he knows that it was his mistake. But either way, I'm like, yo, just play defense, man. Stop getting beat backdoor. But our whole team is getting beat backdoor a lot of times. And that's frustrating to me. I hate getting beat backdoor. I hate getting beat backdoor. I mean, it's going to happen sometimes, but that is a play that is so preventable. You can prevent getting beat backdoor. I hate when you get beat backdoor. Mark, go ahead, man. 30 seconds.
Sam, I ain't going front. When they lose, it's worse than a chick cheating on you, man, because,
It ain't worse than that, Mark. It's not worse than that, Mark.
You know what?
We're going to have to disagree on that one.
You know why it is? Because I can always move on to a next chick. With the Knicks, I'm stuck with what we're watching. Speaking of that backdoor, Sim, our front court can't guard a lick. And I just want to say this. This game is too fast for a lot of these guys to even like. The way Brooklyn ramrod us, that is a problem. If we can't mucky up games, we're going to lose like this whole season, because these guys are not reading the game properly, Sim. That's what I took from tonight. But see, just ran muck on us, bro.
This is where somebody asked me in the earlier show, about, they was asking me about Reggie Bullock, right? And this is where Reggie Bullock really does come in. He helps. I
said that earlier.
When you say mucking up the game, when you say mucking up the game, that is exactly. It don't look pretty. It don't look pretty on the offensive side, but he does. He mucks it up defensively. And you can see it from that guard standpoint that we are missing Reggie Bullock right now. We're missing him.
And Sam, let me say this. I'm watching when Tibbs is calling plays and stuff like that, right? I think the way how he has to coach with these guys is so simple, because if he's trying to run like the complicated stuff for them, they're not doing it. Like, they're not getting it, because players don't know where to. Players are not in the proper space where they're supposed to be, and players are getting tangled up with each other, and that's why our offense looks so horrible. And the thing is too, Sam, we have to find ways of transition buckets. We need easy buckets. That's why teams get up on us, because they get easy buckets. We can't keep coming down and playing this half-court style. It's not going to work. Team's going to score 6 points on us in a blur, and we can't score. We have to score. And until this team finds some type of pace that they have to play with, man, this is going to be depressing every night. This one took me out, bro. Even though I know it's going to be a clean L, I just get depressed. I really do, honestly. I
Hey
wish people
Josh,
could feel how I'm
can
feeling
you
right
do
now.
me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you go at a different angle so we can't see the television in the back? Cause I ain't trying to get
This
that
this
third
team,
strike, bro.
yeah,
There you go.
Sim,
But
this team's IQ got to get better. That's all. It
yeah,
really does.
I
I'm
hear
just
you.
watching
I
the
hear you.
IQ of this team, and
I hear you.
it's slow. It's slow. They're not reacting quick.
I hear you. I
I'm
hear you.
depressed.
Josh, your take, man.
I'm not depressed at all. I mean, the Nets have Kevin freaking Durant.
Oh, and that too, because he slept. He slept tonight. That's what he did.
Kevin Durant is something else. I mean,
Too smooth,
that
man.
dude is, is one of the greatest of all time. And the thing is, people were concerned about him after the Achilles injury, and I wasn't concerned at all because Kevin Durant is one of the greatest shooters of all time. Straight up shooter, a sniper. One of the few players in NBA history that averaged, 50, 40, and 90. So, that was the difference in the game tonight. The Knicks, I like that they fought back, that they were able to come back in the game on that second unit. Guard play obviously is a detriment. We're gonna get beat pretty much a lot of nights.
Most nights, yeah.
At the guard spot. I'm happy that RJ Barrett was able to bounce back and have a good second half. Hopefully, this is something that can be able to get him going. Using the mid range, getting those open shots, finally being able to knock them down. And Kevin Knox only missed one shot tonight. One shot.
Kevin Knox is feeling confident, man.
Shot tonight.
He's feeling confident.
So
Kevin Knox is feeling confident.
Increase those minutes. Give Kevin Knox some more. He's knocking down those easy corner three-point shots that Tibbs loves. And yeah, I mean, I didn't expect us to win tonight, so I'm not feeling that depressed.
Josh, you too happy for me tonight. I'm depressed.
And check this though.
Like me right now.
Here's the thing: Julius Randle was actually playing pretty good defense on Kevin Durant. It's just nothing you can do.
He sure was.
He was playing good defense on Kevin Durant. It's just nothing you could do. You see the one move where he's, boom, boom, boom. Julius Randle commits to the drive and he stops on a dime in the air. Scoop. There's nothing any defender can do about that. Nothing.
Then you seen that movie Sixth Sense with the Wayans brothers? That's what Kevin Durant was. You ever seen that movie Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant just doing what he want, running through you, just doing what he want.
I mean, like there's
he
nothing.
Had a 10-foot. Was he up here?
Yeah,
It's
just like
tall, man.
it's just
the
too smooth,
like
man.
9 foot something off a jump shot. When the ball was in his hand, he had 9 foot max. I'm like, what the?
No, you can do
He
too
takes
smooth.
his time. He takes his time in a real game. Like he actually does what he wants to do whenever he thinks of it. Like I never seen a player like that where he said, "I'm going to go here and I'm going to score on you." Like that. I think that's what he tells himself every time he gets the ball. It's amazing to watch him. It's
Cornerstone coming to you, man. Talk to me. You look depressed. You look like the Knicks just lost and the Steelers just got eliminated from the playoffs. That's what you look like right now.
I like that, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin.
Talk to me,
Feel
Cornerstone.
what I'm saying right now. Disgusting.
Jeez, where to begin? I know that Kevin Durant's going to get his. That's a given.
You knew
But
that.
you can't have guys like, you can't have guys like Brown. You can't have guys like these other no-name guys. I mean, they had a couple of rookies that were making our guys look like we didn't know how to ball. I don't know who that guy from Cameroon, whatever his name is.
Chardonnay, that's his name.
Okay, you got him. Who was the center that was backing up DeAndre Jordan?
The rookie
He's
boy.
a rookie, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, I got no words, man. I mean, Rivers looked like crap. Randall held his own. I wasn't mad at him. I wasn't mad at Randall. I wasn't mad at Knox. Knox was really good tonight. Wasn't mad at Quickly. It seemed like Quickly was getting abused by Brown a little bit because Brown was taking it, into his chest a little. I wasn't mad at RJ too much. But man, I mean, I don't know what it is with these guys. And these guys didn't even throw a zone at us. And we still couldn't.
Listen.
They played man to man. They played man to man.
Right, but we just played a better. We played a better team. Even though they had, who they had, we played a better team.
But we were supposed to. But this one right here, we were supposed to win. And then I'm not even.
I don't know if you're supposed to win.
Josh,
Kevin, you set yourself up.
I'm not setting myself up. You know why? Because the way we came back and within the last few seconds, where was that energy throughout the whole game?
Yeah, they had the bench.
No, I don't want to hear it. We should have had that same energy in the second quarter and the third quarter. And then we wouldn't be, and then if we would have lost by like a point, I'd have been like, all right, because we gave it our best and everything, even though it was a loss. We shouldn't have been blown out like that. Come on.
Yeah, they took Kevin Durant and Joe Harris out the game. That's why the Knicks came back.
They took them out the game. That's why they came back. Because they took them out the game. That's why they came back.
Even still, I remember Durant was on the bench. He was on the bench, and they still blitzed us.
That was in the second. That was the second quarter that we talked about.
Quarter, our bench was supposed to be better than their bench.
What bench do we got?
We don't have no.
We don't have no bench, man. Who's on our bench? Nerlens Noel, Kevin Knox, Emmanuel Quickly.
So you mean to tell me the games that we played against Cleveland, the game we played against Atlanta, the game we played against
we was healthy.
But
he was healthy.
But they have Kevin Durant, bro. They just have Kevin Durant, man.
Right.
And he just
snapped down, Mark. He snapped down when he sat. We only were down
Kevin,
like 4 or 5 points.
Kevin, the way he was playing,
Kevin,
the way he was playing, the flow that he was playing with, they followed suit with what Kevin Durant was doing, and that's what happened. That's what happened.
But he was still on the bench when they made their run.
Kevin, now.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He was on the bench. Kevin Durant was on the bench. The second unit was in the game. That's when they extended that lead. That's when they pushed that lead out there, and you could never get control of the game.
When did Brown turn into like Kyrie Irving?
But the thing is, you got to understand what they do. The way that they move, they have 3-point shooters out the wazoo, right? And so they are moving and running and cutting. And that's making, it made us, look at the type of team we are. We had to chase them. We're not set up to chase anybody. We had to chase them.
Was they running the 5-1 out? Was they running the 5 out?
I have to go back and really look at it. But they're running a Mike D'Antoni
because if that was
offense.
The case, if that's the case, we can't guard that. We don't have the foot speed.
No.
And we don't have the athletes to do that.
And this is the reason why I was asking before the game started if Tom Thibodeau would consider running a zone. They shot us out the building anyway. But this is the thing. They shot us out the building anyway. They were going to knock down those threes anyway. At least if you play a zone, you stop all of the movement. All of the movement that they had, and the ball was just whipping. Pop, 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 pop. And guys moving and cutting. A little bit of a zone every here now and then now makes them have to stop and stand still. Maybe you take them a little bit out of their rhythm. You get them a little bit used to standing still before they recognize that they're in man again. You know what I'm saying? Because the way they were moving, Julius Randle was trying to chase Kevin Durant, bro. On what world do you expect him to be successful doing that? Although he did a good job.
I'm not talking about Randall. I'm not talking about Randall. I'm talking about everybody else.
Kev, I get that.
I'm talking about everybody else.
Kev, we good, bro. We good.
But listen, I understand you're not talking about Randall. I'm not talking about Randall either. What I'm saying is you had someone like Julius Randle, right, with his body size and structure that had to chase Kevin Durant with his body size and structure. He did it. He did as best as he could trying to do it. But you're not going to be successful doing it that way. So that's why I was thinking if you do a little bit of you try some zone, maybe you could change up the way that they have to play. You don't have Julius Randle chasing Kevin Durant. right?
And
You don't
here's-
have
and
Landry
here's my other
Cement running
problem.
around. Hold up. You don't have Landry Cement
Curls.
running around curls and running around screens, and Joe Harris doing the same thing because the zone stops that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so
I think
Here's my other problem. We'll get the rebound. We'll get the defensive rebound when we're trying to make a run, and we'll come down and screw it all up. Whether it's Rivers missing the shot or causing a turnover, or whatever.
Elfrid Payton throwing a low alley-oop.
Yes. It seems like we'll take one step forward, but then take two steps back on the offensive end.
Hey, I don't even think Kevin Durant really beat us tonight because I think it was everybody else because Julius Randle matched his numbers. So it wasn't like Julius Randle had 30. Yeah. But you know what it is? I think we also got to remember, you know what we ought to remember, guys? There's nobody on that Knicks roster ever truly started. Like Josh said earlier, we need talent. Here's why we need talent. No Knicks player that we got other than Julius Randle probably really started on the NBA team for a whole season. Nobody. None. Just Julius Randle. Think about that. Taj ain't playing. And so nobody on our roster, either first year, second year rookies, or they not started in the NBA. Reggie Bullock never started for nobody. It's like we got a bunch of second. Austin Rivers never started for nobody. He was backing up everybody. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: when you look at this Knicks roster, right, and you look at besides Austin Rivers that played in playoff games, we're playing with a whole bunch of losers, bro. And that's what we get when you have a whole bunch of losers in just winning columns and just in the situations they've been in the past. It's gonna be excruciating watching this team trying to arc out wings.
And our homegrown talent.
We're just losing. We're just losers right now.
Exactly.
We're just losers right.
Exactly. They've been losing situations.
You said something the other night. I had watched back. Elfrid Payton's too methodical to be the point guard, bro. He's too methodical in what he does with his game. Most point guards, they're very devious with the ball. With Elfrid Payton, you know what he's gonna do every single time he come up the court, and that hurts us a lot, bro. And Tibbs, I'm kind of getting mad because he's running with him a little too much for my taste. I know he has to, for a certain extent, but bro, you have to try.
Who else is he putting in there?
Who else? Yeah, who's going to be better than
I mean, like this whole thing is just, it kills me because who else are you putting in there?
No, hold on. Where's Dennis Smith Jr.? Oh, I just don't know.
Clearly, Dennis Smith Jr. is not playing. He is not getting burned, bro. He is healthy. He's on the bench. He got a DNP. He got a DNP. Dennis not playing. Just keep that in your mind. The kid ain't getting off the bench. He ain't getting off the pine.
But Sim, he cannot be this bad not to even get a look, bro.
He's not getting a look. The Knicks were down by 19 points tonight. He did not get off the bench. Obi Toppin, no, wait a minute, Mark. Obi Toppin has been out for weeks. He came in and got 57 seconds.
And he didn't even practice.
He didn't even practice, bro. Dennis Smith Jr. is not getting any burn under Tom Thibodeau. I'm sorry.
And you know what, too? That's a great acronym. I heard you the other night, and I bawled out laughing. But this what I warned people when we got him. Something, listen, man. We need to try to find a point guard or something. Or we need something. We're missing something.
But listen.
We missing Frank. We missing Frank.
Check it. This thing with Elfrid. Who are you playing? Austin Rivers is not looking good in the starting lineup. I'm sorry.
No, he's not.
I thought from the beginning of the season, I thought Austin Rivers was going to end up being a starting point guard. He does not look good in that starting lineup. I don't like what he's doing defensively. I want him out of the starting lineup and put Kevin Knox in there until Reggie Bullock gets back, and then make a decision on what you're going to do there. You know what I'm saying? I want Austin Rivers out of that starting lineup because I do not like the way it looks.
Ben, what is New Orleans doing? Does he grab rebounds?
I know he does not.
He gone. He's
bro.
in
my Ellerton pile for right now because he don't do nothing. And on top of that, Sim, this Payton thing, man, it's a real problem. It is. It really is. because that 2-man game he left to run with Randall, it hurts us from time to time. But Randall's been doing, he did good tonight. He tried to keep us in and do whatever he could. I understand that. But it is the defense with these back doors, because we just getting killed, and our back end should be the front court players need to watch out for that, man. I've never seen so many backdoor cuts happening. They ain't Golden State, man.
Why?
That's not on the front court, Mark.
It's not on the front court. That's on our guards. It's on our guards.
Hold on, no. That's the backcourt. The backcourt is the guards, and the front court's on your big man.
Right.
So why are you saying that the front court? So why are you saying that the front court got to watch out for that? It's on our guards. Our guards got to stop the backdoor cut. Kev, you want to take that down before I get a copyright notice, Kev? Right? The guards got to stop. And it's easy to stop a backdoor cut. It's all in how you position yourself. But for whatever reason, every single one of our guards is getting killed in the back door.
It's no,
every single one of them.
No communication.
It's ridiculous. What is there to communicate? Hold up. What is there to communicate about? I'm guarding Mark. If I turn my back on Mark, he's going to go back door. If I don't turn my back on Mark, he's not going to go back door. If I position myself,
see your man.
Exactly. Right. If I position myself so I can see Mark and I can see my man, he's not going to go back door. How is that communication? How is that a communication breakdown? It's not. I don't know what our guards are doing.
If that's the case, Princeton. If that's the case, Princeton can beat us.
Right.
Yo, bro.
I don't know what our guards are doing. Every single one of our guards are getting beat back door. Getting beat back door.
I ain't gonna hold you, Sam. I'm watching it. All the bad habits is starting to creep up like last year again. I think that, again, you said it in some of these streams. Everything has to go right with this team. Injuries are happening to us.
Injuries is killing us right now. We're just gonna we're depleted. We're depleted at this moment. So it is what it is with this team. It's starting to look like last year. Players are going back to their old ways from time to time. Not all the time, but a lot of bad habits are just creeping up from time to time.
Sam, this tonight's game is probably. So I agree that we need to mix it up a little bit on defense, running zone. However, I think tonight wasn't the best game to do that, just because of Kevin Durant. Durant. That's the reason why zone tonight against Kevin Durant, because even if you do stop the Shamits and the Joe Harrisons from coming across that curl, Kevin Durant would torture the zone. He would torture it. Tonight wasn't the night for it. I think against teams like Oklahoma City, it would have been better, but not Brooklyn. Not because of Kevin Durant.
Oklahoma's not a shooting team.
But what would have they already shot 40% from the 3-point line tonight. I'm just saying, I mean, they were going to shoot 40%. If they're in a zone, they're going to shoot 40%, probably. To me, I just feel like it would have stopped some of the movement, because that's where we really got killed, and maybe saved some of our legs on the other side of the floor. Maybe it would have slowed them down a little bit when they were in a half-court set. I'm not saying every possession, but we were running off of many screens. You know, we just couldn't keep up. Every time I turned around, somebody was wide open from 3. And then they get in the air and launch it so quick. It's like, you know, so I'm just thinking that maybe it would have slowed them down. It wouldn't have stopped it, but maybe it would have slowed them down, so we didn't have to go off of so many screens.
We couldn't play at their pace also. They had a pace on us this whole game. So even if we went into a zone, the way they pace was, we couldn't even set up, bro. We don't even get back when we're supposed to. That's another
That's true.
We do not get back. People be the guys are supposed to protect the rim, they be trotting back, man. That's our big problem. So there's no way we could have played zone against that team. Even if we wanted to, if guys are not running back. We're not running back, and we're not even matching their pace. They ran rampant on us, man.
I mean, my thing is, you know, looking at what was already happening, how much worse would a zone have done to try to give them a different look? I don't know if it would have done any worse to try to give them a different look, because they was already running up the floor, you know, getting the shot up 7. I mean, Julius Randle came down, hit a jump shot. The next play, Kevin Durant's already up the floor and in the air, bang, and it's like, oh my goodness, we didn't get a chance to,
And the thing is, it's only 11 games, right? It's only 11 games, right? So I want to say this: we're better than what we was last year in the first 11 games, right? But the thing is, the discipline that we need to play with is something that's going to take. It's going to take the next 10, 15 games, especially when we go against smarter teams with better offense. That's the thing. We are a new team again with a new culture, with a new coach. So again, we're at square one. So, like I said, I just wish like I said, it's depressing to lose. People think that I want them to lose. No, I really get depressed when they lose. But we got to look at it as like this, y'all. We're offensively challenged. We injured right now, so we can't go in thinking that we could win these games. So if we squeeze out a win, that's when we enjoy it. We can't be enjoying like how we was enjoying the last couple of weeks. We set ourselves up for this type of depression that we going through. Look at Kev right now.
I don't feel as depressed as you.
I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. I just know
I'm depressed right now, bro. Look at Kev. Look at Kev. Look at Kev. If you go back to your videos,
Kevin, this is compounded compression. This is compounded depression for Kev. Compounded depression because the Steelers just got eliminated and all that. This is all compounded on top of one another. I'm gonna come around. I want to start with you, Tony. Let's start. I want to start with. I want to talk about RJ Barrett, right? RJ Barrett finally tonight he found the bottom of the net. On the bottom of the net. He's 7 for 15 from the field. Good. Nice percentage tonight in the second half. He started off the game 0 for 5. Finally started getting hot. Why did he start getting hot? Why do you think? I mean, I feel like, they let him handle the ball a little bit more. But I think basically he knocked down the shots. What did you see? What did you see that helped him to knock down his shots? And do you think he can sustain it?
Well, I absolutely think he can sustain it. He went to his bread and butter, which is the mid-range, or which I should say, which should be his bread and butter, the mid-range, because he's pretty decent there shooting-wise. And his bread and butter is actually going to the basket. But if he could start hitting that mid-range, then the basket's going to open up for him. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't shoot threes, because you want to make sure you let people know that you are a threat, or at least a threat to shoot it. So if they're going to give it to you, shoot it. But you don't have to be there. You know what I mean? You can do that pump fake, get that mid-range going, get yourself going, hit a couple of shots. And I think, your confidence to get back. And like Clyde said, that's 90% confidence.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I want to come to Jarrell. Same question, man. Do you think RJ Barrett can sustain his shooting? Do you think he's found it now? It's been a while. He's been struggling in a really bad slump. Do you think he's found it, or is this the one-off?
Hope so, because like everybody was saying, like RJ was open before, he just wasn't hitting them. They fell tonight. That was really the only difference. I believe what Tone said, he needs to stop shooting threes. Don't stop, just like Tone said, but you got to keep the defense honest. The mid-range should be his bread and butter, and just keep shooting.
Did you see anything that they did to, did you see anything that they did to help him get his shot off? Or is it just he was just making it?
I think he was just making it. I think RJ always had open shots. This is like the first night in a week that he's been making.
But I felt like from the beginning of the third quarter, though, they tried to make an effort to go to RJ. Like, we're gonna make sure you get a shot. And we're gonna make sure that you try to get something. I felt like they made that effort when I was watching everybody on the court. Julius was looking for RJ. Elfrid was looking for RJ. It was like, okay, we're gonna try to get this guy a shot, try to get him going. And then when he got going, they were looking to him, looking to him. And then all of a sudden, when the subs came in, they stopped looking to him. Austin Rivers, didn't look to him a couple of times when I thought he should have gave it to him. Then in that fourth quarter, he did. I don't know how many shots he took in the fourth quarter, but after he was hitting a few shots, it was like the offense kind of went away from him a little bit. When they should have tried to ride him out a little bit more, I think. But it is what it is. Divine. I'm going to come to you and Kevin, and I want to get to Prince. Well, I'm going to come to Devon and then Prince because I didn't get to hear from Prince. Kevin Knox, starting to look confident. And I feel good because that's, I like Kevin Knox. 5 for 6 tonight, 2 for 3 from the field, only 2 rebounds. I like to see him get more rebounds than that. Is it here to stay? Is it here to stay with Kevin Knox? Has he finally, I'm not going to say has it clicked for him to be like this superstar player, and he's not going to be 5 for 6 every night. But has he found his nice little role with the team where he understands what he has to do? And so now that he gets it and understands it, he can play better. Do you think he gets it?
I think so. No doubt about it. I always felt Kevin Knox, he know the game. He's a hard worker dude. He's always in the gym. But I think, the more minutes, the more points. The less minutes, the less points. Even in the early the season when Knox wouldn't get a lot of minutes, he was knocking down them shots. We only played like 9, 10, 12 minutes. He'd come and hit 2 quick threes. So I seen that he worked on his shot with lethal shooter this summer. He looked good, man. He going and that mid-range pull-up he did on the baseline, once he get that consistent, he added another thing to his arsenal. He put the ball on the floor. He going through the hole. So, I'm excited with Kevin. I thought he was going to be one of our most improved players this year. And I was speaking about early in preseason, like Knox going to be one of the most improved players this year because he put it in the work. Tibbs said he liked what he was doing. He's seen a lot of stuff here and there. So, yeah, I think that's the reason why only reason I want to put him in the starting lineup, because I think if he comes with Julius Randle in there and Alpha Payton, he playing around some veterans. And that's the reason why I like Reggie Bullock to go to the bench to help them young cats who don't have no experience. I think Reggie Bullock could benefit helping them in the second unit. Not because Knox is better than him. I think Reggie Bullock can help them in the second unit. Put Knox in that first unit because he got the height. Because Julius Randle, nice as Julius Randle is, he still got that height deficiency. But I think you got Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox got about 3 or 4 more inches on him, so your front court don't look too small, and Knox can knock down that tray. And I really think the Knicks, I hope Tom Thibodeau starts seeing that and say, let me try. Because Austin Rivers, he not the answer in that starting lineup. He's nice. He had a bad game, but I'm not saying because he had a bad game. Him, Peyton, RJ, and Randall, that's a small team, man. That's a small lineup, bro. It really is. Them cats is like 6'7", 6'6", 6'3", and Mitchell Robinson, the only tall guy for like DeAndre Jordan and Kevin Durant. Them 7-footers. It was killing us over there because they didn't have that short lineup. But I love what Knox is doing, Sam. I knew he was going to have a bounce back year, and I hope Tibbs recognize it and he keep playing hard. Keep hustling, keep rebounding. He'll get better. And I think he's going to be all right, though. I really do.
Okay. All right. Prince. Coming to you, Prince, and then I'm coming to Rob the Knick. I ain't heard from Rob in a minute. It's on you, Prince. You got to unmute yourself.
Salute to chat, man. Salute to, the fam up here. Welcome back, Rob the Knick. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know what I'm saying? I was, about five minutes in the texting KD, apologizing for all them takes that when I cussed them out,
Right. But do you think Knox has found his groove?
You know what I'm saying, with what we see in him, you know what I'm saying, the proof is in the pudding. The kid is definitely benefiting from having real coaching and a real staff to develop him. This summer, him and KD, on the low, him and KD was working out. So again, I think he really wanted to show something to KD, show how, show what him and KD have been working on. like I said. So I'm not really worried about Knox. Same thing I was thinking about RJ, man, to see him today have a bounce back game, you know what I'm saying, and keep shooting the ball. I gotta give RJ his respect, you know what I'm saying, when you really think about it. Because again, this guy is just doing his best, trying to help us win. So, you know, when we come down on him, we, you know, like we said, we expect a lot out of RJ, and I guess that's why a lot of us, you know, come down on him so hard. You know, so again, tonight, Sim, to see him and Knox be consistent, I think, you know what I'm saying, like Divine been telling us, and like, you know, a lot of us kind of been with the optimism. I think, you know, it's still a long season and we got a lot of basketball to play. I don't think this little losing streak is really going, or bad shooting streak is really going to hinder us for the foreseeable future. So again, with all that being said, I love what the kids are doing. Knox, RJ, I know Mitch didn't have a great game against DeAndre, but it was like DeAndre kind of wanted to come out and prove himself because they traded Jared Allen, and then Mitch was a young boy. So, you know, it seemed like he wanted to outplay Mitch a little harder tonight. But I ain't really worried about the kids, man. And I'm really thinking Knox will be consistent with the type of things that Thibodeau is doing for them. And again, I don't even think they've really scratched the surface of their offense, guys. I think we really just seeing them learn how to flow, learn how to play, learn how to share the ball. That's what you really seeing right now. Yeah, we seeing sets like who Merck said before, but I don't even think Tom Thibodeau is really flexing right now. I think he's really just wanting these guys to learn how to play in the system, learn their roles. So once he do start rolling out plays and, you know, want guys to execute, you know, guys will know how, and you know how Tom want them to execute in the offense, man. But yes, Sim, I'm not too worried, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially tomorrow shoot around, I'm pretty sure I feel a lot better.
Okay, yeah. And Prince just mentioned it, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow morning about 11:30, we're gonna do a show called The Shoot Around. All right, and I'll make sure I put a link in the chat before I get out of here, the shoot around. And basically that's, you know, the next day after a win, after a loss, after our emotions have calmed down, you know, we come and we talk about, and then we try to think about what will Tom Thibodeau do in practice and shoot around today to prepare the team for the next game. You know what I mean? So tomorrow morning, shoot around about 11:30. So look forward to that notification. Rob the Knick, what's going on with you, man? Talk to me. Kevin Knox.
What's up, bro?
How you been, man?
Oh, man, Kevin Knox. It's been good, working, holding it down, watching my boys play. You know, it's a lot of games we getting in a whole bunch of quick times. Emotions are up and down with this team.
You know what I'm saying?
1 week we good.
Right, 1 week we good, 1 week we terrible.
Right, we gonna fire everybody this week. We don't know what to do. But yeah, man, Knox look like he doing what I need him to do. And it's looking like, you know, he finding now, he creeping now, but he's finding where he want to shoot at now. Yeah. Now, even if it's just one side of the floor, it's all good. Long as it's going in, you know, it looked like he found this little niche for 2 straight games. You know, I'm loving what he doing. I think that, you know, if he ain't hanging around on that 3-point line so much, he can get in there and rebound a little bit. It just seems as though everybody he's checking is not going to the basket. So that's shorting him up on the rebounding. So, you know, other than that, you know, it was a hard-fought game early. But what I have to say about RJ is this here. You know, them slow starts like that, I think RJ might need to go to the bench.
Uh-oh.
You know.
Uh-oh.
You know.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead. Talk your stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he might need to stay there, but I'm thinking like during the last regime, RJ was privileged to take any type of shot that he wanted to. And right now, I think that's what's his downfall, that he's taking the shots at the wrong. He's becoming a volume shooter. And I think that the shots that he's necessarily taking, those should be shots that Kevin Knox should be getting the ball. I think he got a better chance of making it. You know, and it seems as though, like, you know, RJ is struggling a little bit, even though today, you know, he shot good, but he still started off 0 for 5. And I think in the second half, the defense just slacked off a little bit due to the lead. And he was able to find the groove, and he took advantage of it. But you know, he does good things on the floor, but his shooting takes away from his rebounding and assists because he shoots at a high volume, not making it. So, you know, even though like today, like I said, I felt as though that the Nets eased up off of him and he got to shoot. But one thing that I seen that he did, he started shooting on the left side of the floor, which he's more comfortable. And I think he hits at a better pace than on the right side of the floor. When they were on the second half, we was on the 7th Avenue side. So, you know, most of his shots came from that side where he can put his left hand, he's left hand dominant, and he can get off. And he has to recognize, do that first, then work your way around to the other side of the floor. If they taking too much away, you know, then by then you be warmed up and maybe you can hit some shots. But right now, even though he shot good, Sims, I think that the brother need to go to the bench. He need to report for bench duty, and I think that he'll play better with that second. I think that he'll play better with that second unit. And I just you know, I didn't want to say it for a long time, but I've been thinking about it, you know. And Fulio and Guillermo been going at it pretty hard though. But you know, I'm leaning towards what Fulio was saying, that maybe, man, he need to you know, and I think it would help him. I honestly think that it will help him because he's not playing like our second best player right now. Even when he's on the floor, I would have to put Mitch above him because even though we getting what we getting from Mitch, it's consistent. And, you know, he's too inconsistent to value what he's doing on the offensive end, which we really need him on. So, you know, with that being said, somebody else can take it. But, yeah, I'm all for Mitch reporting the bench duty, man. I had to say it.
You said Mitch reporting the bench duty.
I mean, RJ reporting the bench duty.
Yeah.
Mark,
I think Mitch.
Mark, you got a rebuttal. I see you over there, you know, cheesing, grinning, crust falling off your lips and everything. You got a rebuttal.
Yo, shout out to Rob because, you know, he's antagonizing me on Twitter, and he brought that up. It's like, you know, stick it in my craw. Good shot, Rob, but listen, bro. I believe he shouldn't play on the perimeter so much because he's not a. I knew this coming out of college. He was not a 3-point shooter. How I would want him to be used is more going towards the basket to open up his game. So just like how you said Knox is starting to figure out where he should get his shots and all that, RJ's doing the same thing, bro. And he has way more responsibilities with the ball when he has the ball than Knox. So you can't compare those two. You just can't. Knox have specific job. RJ's more of a multifaceted player than Knox. Knox is put out there to be a specialist compared to RJ. So you can't compare what those two do when they're on the floor, number one. I knew RJ couldn't shoot. So it's one of those things where it has to improve. He has to play games for it to get better. Again, the dude didn't play 82 games. So I don't know what y'all expect him to be like the next.
A lot of people didn't play 82 games, Mark. A lot of people didn't play 82 games. A lot of rookies didn't.
Listen. But you know that whole thing. People keep saying, you know, RJ's basically still a rookie. He had an entire off. If RJ's still a rookie, Kevin Knox is still a sophomore, right?
Sam,
I mean, come on. He had an entire off season.
Okay. But listen, he wasn't playing a real game all off season.
Nobody else was either.
A lot, yeah.
But Sam, he's a developing shooter. Y'all expect him to stop?
No, what I'm saying is this. If you have an entire off season, you're no longer a rookie. I get it. You only played 62 games. If he would have gotten hurt and only played 62 games, He'd come back. He would not be a rookie. He would be a sophomore. He had an entire offseason, a longer offseason than usual, just like Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox is no longer a sophomore. He's in his third year. You know, at one time, I was one who was like, yeah, you know what? RJ hasn't played 82 games. But then I had to think to myself, but he had an entire offseason. I'm not saying he's supposed to be perfect. What I'm saying is that's not an excuse. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I'm not saying that. I acknowledge that he has a shooting problem. He does. I knew that coming out of college. I just don't like how they use it from time to time. That's just me. That's just me. And again, when he's sharing the floor with the starting five, I don't think it's conducive for his type of playing style. It's not. He can't operate with those guys that can't shoot.
So he should go to the bench.
He ain't got no shooters. Yeah, you're right.
Listen,
he's not gonna say that, Josh. So all right. Well, listen, we have this argument about RJ all the time. What are we gonna do about the point guard spot, though? We know Dennis Smith Jr. is not playing. Okay,
he ain't playing because he's a bum, and I told you he can't run a NBA offense.
So Dennis Smith Jr. is not playing. I'm coming to you, Kev. Frank Ntilikina is hurt. We don't know when he's going to be back, and he's proven to be an injury-prone player, right? So we got Quickly, we got Payton, we got Austin Rivers. I don't think Quickly can man that position full-time, defensively full-time. Offensively, maybe so. I'm not even sure he's really a natural point guard. He's more of an off-the-ball player to me, right? Because, he can get inside. He's I don't know. I think he's just more of a combo guard. So in the meantime, I guess we just have to deal with Peyton. But geez, any suggestions, or should Tom just say, "Freak it, give Dennis Smith Jr. a go"?
Listen, I told people, like I was telling people, let's just see what he does this season. Give him the chance to show if he can play. Let's just see if he can't. You put him back where he's at. DNP does not play. So let's see what he
can't direct an offense, Mark.
Listen,
DSJ can't direct an offense.
Yo, bro, listen.
He's been trying. I mean, Tom has been in his ear all through preseason. He cannot direct an offense.
Kevin, I told y'all from day one when we got him. My whole thing is this starting five is, I don't know where you have Mitch that can't score. We have Randall that could score. We have RJ, a rookie that's a sophomore, as y'all say.
Thank you.
Still trying to figure out his spots in the league. Reggie Bullock, consistent at times offensively. And then Elfrid Payton. I want y'all logically tell me, are these guys even scorers?
I'd rather have my boy. After seeing everything, I'd rather have my boy in there. And once he gets healthy, I'd rather him be in there.
But he's not here. He's not here. And we got at least a week until he's even reevaluated. What are we doing up until then? That's my question. Hold up, Mark. Hold up. Go ahead, Kev. What are we doing up until then? Because Frank's not here.
As much as I want him to be there. Jeez. I guess we got to stick with what we got, man. As much as I don't want to. I mean, in the beginning, I wanted Quickly. I wanted Quickly in there. But he's, as they say, came back down to earth. But I'm missing the Elfrid Payton that was driving to the basket and getting those teardrops.
He's still getting the shot. He's not making them.
They just not falling.
He's not making them.
They're not falling. I need them to fall. That's what I miss.
I think we do got to give. I think, like you said, now with the inconsistency in these 10 games, if Alfred ain't getting, I mean, he's been our starting point guard. So that's one thing that it ain't like he sat and not. No, you played. So with that being said, I think like if DSJ is healthy, you got to let him get some burn. Whenever Frank do come back, but like you said, he ain't here. But right now, honestly, that's what I was going to say. I think, like you said this in our post game, so was that Austin Rivers mostly, or somebody, one of us said that he mostly guarded and played point guard. So now he's trying to play the 2 guard for us. Tone Crow said that. And he's, you know what I'm saying? And now he's playing the 2 guard for us. So again, maybe we should let not quickly, but Austin Rivers run the 1, put RJ at the 2, and then bring Knox in. And you know what I'm saying? Because now you got Austin Rivers guarding his natural position. Because I don't like Tone said, and I didn't think about that either, that he's not, him being 6'3", 6'4", you know, real guards are, you know, eating his lunch. So, you know, and they cook.
I mean,
does it take him get cooked lately? Does it take
knock on wood, does it take for Alfred Payton to go down to put Austin Rivers in there at the point? I mean,
oh no, I didn't say put him at the point. I was saying make him guard the point guards. That's what he's accustomed to.
I'm saying put him at the point. Like Sim said,
start him at the 1.
Yes. Well, we could start him at the 1 too, because again, we seen in those. Like I said, when I said
can't start him at the 1 right now because he really doesn't know any of the sets.
No,
he hasn't been in practice.
See, and that's what. And see, chat, and this is everybody. Like this is another thing I said when we were talking. We always had these little talks, you know what I'm saying. But this is I said too. Anybody in the chat, y'all can chime in, and the people in the panel. Do you guys believe that Austin Rivers has thrown off the chemistry with the offense and defensive units? Because just like Sim just said. He was thrown in. He didn't get to run with the guys. Yeah, he watched them, you know, run plays. But like Sim said, it seems like he's not on the same wavelength as everybody else. When he's in the game, you know what I'm saying? And like Sim said, my point, if we could put him at the 1, but we can't because he doesn't know the plays. So I'm going to pass the mic. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Tell me this. We won 5 out of the 6 games, and now we lost 4. What changed?
Austin Rivers.
With these 4 games? But he was part of that 5 that helped us win.
Well,
no, he wasn't.
He was part of 1.
He was part of like 1.
Oh, he wasn't.
Yeah, injuries as well. Injuries was part of it. But like,
it's not the issue.
What happened against Atlanta?
Kev, it's an overall roster.
What happened against Atlanta?
Kev, you got to understand something. The Knicks were outplaying their talent in their first 6 games, or whatever it was when they went on the first 8 games. When
the Jazz too.
They were overplaying their talent. Thibodeau was getting the most out of these guys right now.
Hey, look, let me put y'all up on something. Hey, look.
Go ahead, Rob.
The Knicks had the upper end against the Jazz just because of the coach that they brought over. And then the same thing affected us when we played Oklahoma. We found out where Mike Miller was at. That's the same thing and then when you look at the Knicks games on top of that, you look at Rivers. Now Rivers is, you know, he has a history with Thibodeau because of his dad. So him coming in, he pretty much knows the plays or the outsets of everything. It's just the ins and outs that he would have pretty much had to pick up. You know, he was probably more advanced in the offense than any Knick that we had, being that his father coached under Doc. So he knows the sets and things like that.
But I don't know. That don't mean that they use the same sets. And, you know what I mean? Because Tom Thibodeau is going to.
But the basic principle, principle. Not the whole thing.
I just feel like I'm gonna come to you right after this, Tony. I feel like it's, for me, it's not so much of him playing. It's in that starting unit. I just don't like the way he looks in the starting unit. It's too small. Both of those guys, Austin Rivers is what?
I agree.
6'1", 6'2". Yeah. Alfred Payton is also 6'4". I just feel like they're too small, and it don't work.
With that.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's too small. So Tony, go ahead, man.
Damn. All right, I got it. Austin Rivers. I feel like he came in that first game and had a real good game. Played off adrenaline, off instinct. You know what I mean? Came in that fourth quarter, did his thing. I think I don't know if it was the second or the third game, or it may have been this next two games. I think he kind of came in and was trying to do too much. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just a fourth quarter thing. Now he had minutes. You know what I mean? Like, he had a full role, and I think he was a little aggressively trying to do too much. I think after those two games, the next two games,
which he started,
he's been tentative. He's been hesitant. He doesn't just move off. Exactly. He's not making quick decisions. You know, he's shot fake, dribble. He's back to doing a little bit too much. He has to settle into a role, and I agree with Sim. I don't think his role should be starting per se. Right now, he's probably starting because of shooting, but he's not really producing.
Right.
Yeah. So again,
I think we could come to the consensus that Knox should have been starting these last two games.
Well, I think so. Yeah. You know, I can understand the last game. You know, he was trying to match up, you know, position-wise, size-wise. So I got that. But I think there's too much. You got two guards that want to dribble the air out the ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you can. I mean, if you got one, okay, you know what? If you have one and you make sure that guy don't have the ball in his hands all the time, and, you know, maybe you can get past it. But when you got two guys that want to dribble the ball out, the air out the ball, you know,
that's a problem.
You know, that poses a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what I have noticed though, especially in that third quarter, when Elfrid Payton and Quickly are in the game at the same time. Elfrid Payton's playing more off the ball, and Quickly has the ball in his hands, doing something. You know,
because
creating.
It looks like Quickly is more right. Right.
Sim, that was the reason why I said not because he better than Alfred. Remember back in the beginning of the season, I said the reason why I would start Quickly. Knicks need shooters in the starting lineup. They got no shooters. Elfrid Payton can't shoot. RJ can't shoot. Mitch can't shoot. Randall, he good. And Bullock, he's spotty. Only reason I said start Quickly, even if Quickly start the game and he not doing good, you take him out, put Elfrid in. But at least Quickly give you a chance to bust open a zone or bust open and when he get in the lane, you know, when Quickly get in the lane, he got enough time to make decisions. Everybody else get clogged up. Right. When he going in the lane, he got enough time to get like 5 foot before he shoot a floater. So he got enough time to see when Elfrid Payton do that. Elfrid Payton get all the way deep in the paint. You know what I mean? Where the Simmons is at. Yeah. And next thing you know, he get blocked or he got to shoot a. But I think that in Austin Rivers, to me, he's not a point guard because he's a scorer. If you put him at the point guard, he's not a facilitator. His whole career coming out of Duke, all he do is score. So to me, I wouldn't even put Austin Rivers I would give Quickly that run. And if Quickly the first 2 minutes he not playing good, you take him out.
But
he might come in there and bust up a couple of jump shots. And him and Bullock or him and Knox, at least you got 2 shooters in the start lineup compared to 1. Knicks need shooters because I'm telling you, Elfrid Payton, that's why everybody lunching off. They say, you know what? Let's step back, plot the middle with Mitch at, let them shoot. They can't shoot.
And I'm assuming Jared Harper won't even get a look, right?
No, he's not going to get a look.
No. And he's probably the purest point guard we have.
You know, listen, Jared Harper and RJ's homeboy, they're not getting any looks. Jarrell, what do you think, man? Should we go to DSJ?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
You asked me a DSJ question the other night too. Like, no way. No way. With Austin Rivers, though, he's a role player. He should never be a starting anything. He shouldn't be starting for us either. We just don't have a starting point guard. Period. I would start Quickly, just like Devon said, but we don't have a starting point guard.
So what do we do? Man. So do we just deal with? So we just deal with what we got. We just deal with what we have.
Unless it's a trade, we don't really have a choice. I start Quickly and just keep it rolling.
Okay, so you'll start Quickly.
Yeah, I start Quickly.
Okay. All right. Mark, go ahead, Mark.
I start Quickly.
Sam, I think it's time to bring him out. Theo Pinson. It's time.
Stop it. No. We're not doing
That's your
that.
boy. You be killing Theo, bro.
No.
What you call him, Mr. Millie Rock?
No.
You call him Mr. Millie Rock?
I'm a Tar Heel fan. We are not bringing Theo Pinson on the floor. No.
His joy for the game can help bring us some joy.
Joy.
This team look like they don't want to play in the last 4 games. We need Theo Pinson.
Joy.
Theo.
Then we need Theo Pinson a couple blue pills to get the ball. That's what we need, bro. Because
I'm
if we
done,
can't-
bro.
Sim, like you said, if we can't make shots, we gonna take every
night. Yeah, man.
every night.
You're right.
We can't make shots, and we need Theo Pinson.
Theo, what's Theo Pinson gonna do? He shot 18%. He shot 18% from 3 last year.
But you know what I like about him? You know what I like about him? He moves the ball. He could play defense, and he know how to play the game. I can say he's
let me tell you what. He should know what he's doing because he does enough coaching on the sideline. You see him up there swinging, telling players, go here, do that. You know what I'm saying? Tony, go ahead, man.
He knows.
I think Dennis Smith Jr. is still intriguing. He does have a dynamic that we lack still at a point guard with speed and athleticism. So I think we can still use him. And I think if he's gonna play, I think his best suited with the starters if we also bring in a shooter. But I think I like his shooting better than Peyton's. He's not going to hesitate as much as Peyton is as far as taking the jump shot. He has the ability to get hot. He also has the history of a successful rookie season, which, people tend to forget about. So I still think he should be an option. We shouldn't just, cross that off like no way.
Yo, bro.
Hey,
I'm gonna say this with DSJ. He kind of does the same things like with Peyton when he has the ball. He dribbles the ball a little too long. Like that's the thing with our guards. They dribble too much. You cannot dribble too much with this team. This team has to feel the ball. They have to feel like they're in the game. And from time to time, that's what it looks like. Like no one is touching the ball enough to feel like they're in the game. But
that's why I think he fits better with the starters because the starters, the Julius Randles, they could create for themselves. You know what I mean? They don't need Dennis Smith to create for them. They need Dennis Smith to be a threat. You know what I mean?
And the thing is too,
and that's the difference.
You know what I see a lot? And I've been seeing a lot of hesitation. Because they've been going to Randall so much, I feel like these guys feel like they got to constantly keep giving Randall the ball also. And that also could be a problem because I see that all the time. I seen a play where I think Thing was in the corner. I think Alfred Payton, it was RJ and Rivers is in the corner. And RJ was dead wide open. And he just ended up hesitating, giving the ball. You take
because he gonna miss.
I noticed that tonight, though. I did notice that tonight. This is the first time in a while that the Knicks were dependent on Julius Randle too much. And like Tom Thibodeau said in the huddle, you heard him in the huddle, you get open, shoot it. I mean, he was screaming like, you open, shoot it.
But that's
too tentative, though. They just like, if you open, shoot it, man. That's it. That's basketball.
But see, I think he was yelling that because on that one play, RJ had to open 3. He did maybe a little bit of a pump fake, hesitated, then he kicked it to Austin Rivers, and Austin Rivers missed the 3. And Tom Thibodeau was talking about that in the post game, the last game, that he sees guys hesitating and not shooting it. He's like, yo, if you open, shoot the basketball. Stop playing around with it, because if you're hesitating, that's one of the ultimate signs of you're starting to doubt yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, I got it, but I might not be able to hit it. He can hit it better than me. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to see that, especially from RJ. You don't want to see that. And I'm glad in the second half he didn't do that. Maybe, that talk from Tom Thibodeau was like, yo, shoot the ball. Who cares? Even if you're missing, maybe that he was like, okay, I got to do it. Because the last 2 games, I've seen him do that a couple times. And, that's not what you You don't want him to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, we have no solution really at the point guard spot. We got to go with what we got. I don't think there's going to be change. I do hope that there's a lineup shakeup. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to get into that conversation tomorrow on the show, on the shoot around show tomorrow morning. Just how we get just some shakeups, how we're going to shake some things up, and if Tom Thibodeau will shake some things up. Hopefully, the next game, Obi can get in there a little bit. He just came back, so maybe Tom Thibodeau didn't want to push it. He played 57 seconds tonight. I didn't understand it. He got in there, ran up the floor. Elfrid Payton threw a low alley-oop that got stolen, and then Tom Thibodeau took him out like it was Obi's fault. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted him to touch the floor, or maybe he just at the last second. Who knows what happens? Sometimes coaches have other people doing substitutions for them. They don't always do the substitutions. They have other people, and he seen Obi out there and said, no, I don't want that, and changed it, so you never know. But the Knicks play, when do we play again? We play, what's today? Wednesday, we play Friday, right?
Friday.
Who do we play Friday? The Cavs?
Cavs.
Let's talk about that game. Let's talk about the Cavaliers. Guillermo, what's going on, man?
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
I'm good. Talk to me about the Cavs, man. Can we scratch out one and stop this skid?
Oh, you silly geese are still looking at the wrong things. It's a year about development. It's not a year about wins.
See, that's where for me you try to win the basketball game. You know what I'm saying? And you try to get your team off the skid, because part of development is to show that the things that you are putting in place works. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yes, you try to win the game.
But when we won against the Jazz and Rivers went off, that wasn't a balanced game by the young guys necessarily. That was Rivers and Randall, carrying a load for that team, right? Rivers went 5 out of 7 from 3. And we've seen Rivers do it before. So when we look at that, it's like, oh, we won, but did we truly develop as a team? Now, I think Mitch didn't foul out, which is a sign of development, right? With this team, and what you made a great point with RJ, again, because we're saying, hey, kill RJ, don't take threes. And like I said on the other side, RJ, Tibbs is probably telling RJ, shoot threes. I want you to. Now, obviously, don't shoot 23s a game, but hey, shoot the threes, because we got to work on your weaknesses, right? So again, and RJ only missed 2 shots in the second half. So for me, can we win the game? So I think Drummond was out against the Jazz, right? They won they lost to the Jazz 100 and something to 80 something. Drummond was out, I believe, with an Achilles injury. Drummond, Garland, Love was out. KPJ is still out for personal reasons. And I want to say Sexton or somebody else was out. So they missed a lot of their starters. Can we win the game? Obviously, if you don't have to deal with Drummond, but now they have Jared Allen, who's played Mitch fairly well. Again, I have to see exactly what we're going to run offensively, because this game, it was a lot of – can't really say there's a lot of zone breakage. In a Hornets game second half, there was. So, again, I have to see what we do. Can we pull out a win? I mean, yeah, we could pull out a win. But we don't play – if our defense is shoddy, we could lose that game. If our perimeter defense is shy like tonight, obviously don't have a KD, but can we win the game? Yeah. But for me, I'm looking for, again, development from RJ Barrett. I'm looking for Mitch, another good game regarding his fouls. He didn't foul out the game. I believe he played 30-some minutes tonight. And I'm looking for another thing. I'm looking for Tom Thibodeau to do is try to get more shots per possession. Right? You guys talk about pace, and unfortunately, I think that's one thing about Tom Thibodeau. I'm not saying I don't trust his coaching, but that's one thing he has to change. Whether it's I'm not saying you have to necessarily try to do everything a fast break, but you got to push the tempo up. We got to get more shots each possession, get offensive rebounds, kick it out to another guy, second chances. So can we win the game? Yeah, but again, I don't say we could. I'm not putting it that we could beat any team per se. I think we could lose to every. But
see, my thing with the shots per possession, the reason why you see teams like tonight with Brooklyn is when you have guys that can shoot. When you guys have that can really shoot the basketball, you can quickly get up the floor, boom, 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 and shoot and really have a good chance of the ball going in. When you don't have guys who can shoot, I think you have to be a little bit more methodical in the way that you try to get your shots because
not necessarily true, Sim. If you have a team, right, if you can make the requisite passes to look, because you also have to look up whose man on defense hasn't properly set yet. Let me push it to him. He drives. Now, someone might come over commit because now they have to come and compensate for that guy not being in place as the guy that I just passed to is driving. That guy passes to another guy who you may have drawn his defender away from you, right? So it's like an organized chaos. Push the tempo up and don't let the defense reset. It could be all slash to the basket, but if you're making proper passes and you're catching a defense off balance, someone's going to be open. Now, obviously, I agree with you. And the thing about if you and the slower pace will actually work with better shooters because I can get it down to I don't mind giving it to KD. You know what I mean? When it's 7 seconds left on the shot clock because I know he's going to make that shot. I have a good feeling he's going to make that shot. I don't mind getting to Harden because I know they're going to make that shot with 2 seconds left on the clock. You know what I mean? When you don't have those shooters, you got to push the tempo. And yeah, I agree with you. If you guys,
I don't know. I feel like you want to push the tempo when you can, but I feel like when you don't have guys that can spread the floor out to shoot to push the tempo, because in order to push the tempo, you got to spread out the floor so you can have good lanes. We can't spread the floor out so we can have good lanes.
But we also don't send guys even. I'm sorry.
Like teams know get all the way back and pack the paint, right? So we can try to push the ball up, right? And they're going to get back and pack the paint, force us to shoot the three, boom, long rebound, fast break the other way. That's what I feel is going to happen if we try to push it too fast. You know what I'm saying? Because they get up, they send all their big men right down into the lane, pack that paint out so you can't drive, cut out all the driving lanes because they're not worried about you being able to knock down shots, the same reason why they play zone. I mean, we shot 39% from three tonight. We've got to prove we can do that on a nightly basis, I think, and be able to have guys hitting those wings, boom, catch it, and get in the air. We don't have anybody besides Burks who can actually catch the ball and get in the air off the catch. Everybody has to get set. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they catch the ball, boom, get set for a second, and let it go. You see the Nets tonight, them guys, as soon as the ball hits their fingertips, they're on their toes, they're in the air, letting the ball go. And I mean, everybody we have is like a plotting type of player.
But look at the Nets though. Outside of KD and Joe Harris, I don't think they necessarily on that court. I can't think of any of the shooters, and they were pushing the pace on us all night.
Shamet was a good.
Landry Shamet. My bad. He's only getting like what 7? What's he getting? How many? I don't think he's getting that many minutes. He's only averaging, 5-6 minutes?
Yeah, but he's averaging more than that, but he just was shooting.
He's still a good shooter, don't get me wrong, but 5-6. I mean, they have other guys producing too, like
Chardonnay.
Chioza, whatever his name is.
Right.
Chioza,
I mean, but all of those guys, though, all of those guys were like, catch the ball and get in the air. Like,
yeah, because since they've been catching the ball
in the air.
They had a lot of catching the ball, getting the ball up court fast. But when they caught the ball, they only had like one defender. It's always a better look when you just got one defender in front of you before you pull up. We're not even getting that chance.
But what I'm saying, what I'm talking about when I'm talking about with the pace is when these guys catch the ball, right? There is no I gotta catch the ball and plod my way, get myself set, and then go up in the air. It's as soon as the ball hits my fingertips, I'm already in the air letting the ball go. There is a big difference between that split second when it comes to the pace of that game. All of our players are very plodding type of players. Even Kevin Knox, he doesn't catch the ball right on his fingertips and just lets it go. He gets set for a second and then lets it go. You know what I'm saying? I just think there's a difference.
Still pushing the pace. But if you still pushing the pace and you just got that one defender, even though Kevin Knox may take that, but most of the time he's going to be shooting over a defender anyway.
What I'm saying is you can push the pace. I just don't think we shoot efficiently enough to push it that way. That's what I think.
It can't be no worse than what's going on now.
Well, it can because I think it leads to long. Let me get to this phone call. I think it leads to long rebounds, which leads to the other team getting a whole lot of transition points. When we were playing against Atlanta, we tried to push the pace. We was getting our ass bust. We slowed it down. We came back and won the game because we couldn't play that pace. You know what I'm saying? I
But
just don't
Atlanta
think we
really
have
couldn't
that.
play
But we
defense
pushed the
either.
pace against the Pacers, I believe, with the second unit, and we won that game, right?
The second unit is something different. We don't have that. We don't have all of those guys in that second unit. I talked about that second unit and how I think those guys can push the pace, but we don't have those guys. We don't have Alec Burks out there. He's one of those guys. The only guy.
No, the second Pacers game. The second Pacers game. We didn't have Alec Burks second Pacers game.
Let me get to this phone call. Hold up, caller, you live. What's popping?
What's going on, y'all?
What's going on? Thank you for being patient. I know you've been on the line for a while.
That's all right. That's all right. Tonight, I'm not mad. I'm not. It's the Brooklyn Nets. These guys are trying to win a championship. They played amazing. Their bench came off the bench and balled out. I don't think Kevin Durant won this game because you know what Kevin Durant can do. But tonight, the bench was really stellar. About the point guard position, though, it might sound crazy, but I'd say go get Isaiah Thomas. Give him a veteran minimum. Give him a 1-year deal. Let him ball out. This point guard position is not nailed down. Alfred Payton is not performing. Austin Rivers shouldn't be nowhere near the starting lineup. He should play with a younger core, with a faster group coming off the bench. And we need to get Isaiah Thomas. Let him ball. Veteran minimum. Let him ball. How can we hurt? Payton's struggling. Let him ball. Knox, I feel like it's time we should start him next game. Start him next game. Put Austin Rivers back on the bench. He's not a shooting guard. Put him back on the bench. Let him come off the bench. Put the tempo. Because when he's in the starting lineup, not only is his defense atrocious, but it's like he's just running around. We played through RJ. We played through Julius. It's like he can't really dribble the ball as much. He can't create a shot. Come off the bench with a new batch of players. Let him dictate the offense, and we go from there. But Knox, to me, should start next game. He should start next game.
I mean, I think that Knox should start over Austin Rivers next game as well. I think he should be out there. I just don't. It doesn't look good or feel good with Austin Rivers and Alfred Payton out there on the floor. Both of them, pound the ball a lot. Take up a lot of dribbles instead of keeping the thing popping and keeping it moving. Yeah, I agree. We'll see if that's a lineup change that Tom Thibodeau goes to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm being real. We need to get Isaiah Thomas in the team. I know it's a gamble because of injuries, but we need a point guard that can score the ball. We need a point guard that can score the ball, dictate play, give him the veteran minimum. Don't give him Boogie Cook $5 million. Boogie Cook $5 million. Give Isaiah Thomas $5 million, 1-year deal. Let him ball out. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. And Knox should be starting not just because he's been playing, but also we need height. We need some height to grab some boards. We struggle with the rebounds, and tonight we were struggling with the boards because when Julius Randle has to guard a KD at the perimeter, Mitchell Robinson has to box out a heavy ass DeAndre Jordan. We need another person that can go in there and get some boards, help also in the paint defense.
Yeah, I mean, Mitchell Robinson got his boards. We need the guards to help get some rebounds tonight, like we did a couple games back.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. So, hey, I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call.
Thanks.
And I do want to say though, but Gammo, the Nets actually came into this game shooting 40% from three, and they shot 40% tonight. They came into this game shooting 40% for three. They are a good 3-point shooting team, and that's the style of basketball that they play. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have their players, if you look at their players and the way their players are built are totally different from the way our guys are built. We are slow and plodding.
And that's also including Karis LeVert and Kyrie, who hasn't been playing, right? Was a lot.
Kyrie, but Kyrie hasn't played much. That included Karis LeVert. But what I'm saying is that's the style of play. That's what they've been doing. But they still have players that are built that way.
Like their roster is built to run that kind of.
Exactly. Their roster is built like that.
But it's not, I'm not just, everybody thinks that just because you get the ball up the court, that we're talking about shooting, right? You can still get the ball up the court, drive, and have people trying to reset and make you can literally get the ball up the court, drive before your man gets there. People collapse on you. You have a Mitch, if you have guys to run, you have a Mitch, you have somebody else coming from the other side, you pass him, and they still come to the basket. If you don't even have that.
Let me say something to that point. Let me say something to that point because I agree with that. And this is why in the beginning of the season, I said the Knicks weren't built to really run the fast break because they didn't really have the personnel to do that. On a fast break, whoever has that ball and is in the middle of the floor going to the middle, they need to be aggressive going up to the ball, going up there and being able to score and doing that. The Knicks don't really have anybody that can do that on the fast break, like leading the fast break to do that. It's not going to be Peyton, and Quickly's too small. He's not going to go up strong with the ball. This is why I was a big proponent of bringing in Russell Westbrook, because when he has that ball and he's running with it, he's going to go up strong with it. And if people collapse on him, that ball's going to get kicked out, and then you get easier shots for your Knoxes, for your Bullocks, and for your Alec Burks. Because of the ability to go up, to be able to score in the middle of the floor. That's what Derrick Rose did. That's what Tom Thibodeau did with Derrick Rose, and they didn't really score that many fast break points. But Derrick Rose, when they had a chance to run the fast break, Derrick Rose was going up to the basket strong. RJ Barrett's not going up to the basket strong because he can't hop.
Those Bulls teams, that's a little misnomer because those Bulls teams, I mean, you saw highlights of them doing that. They actually had some of the worst paces with those Bulls. Like Tom Thibodeau doesn't play with pace, period.
No, I know that. I get that. And I'm saying,
but those are flashes with one player. The thing about it, I'm talking about and I agree. If you don't have you have certain players, maybe. I think it was also a mentality thing, right? Not mentality, excuse me. I think it's a coaching thing where he literally coaches these guys up to not run. I've seen it in the Hawks game. Quickly literally had, I don't want to say it wasn't a fast break, but he had like a quasi one-on-one. And you saw Tim screaming at him to slow up the pace. This was like late in the game against the Hawks. But then in the preseason game, granted it's preseason, Quickly was throwing the ball almost, I don't say half court, but he was throwing it up to Mitch. He was pushing and that's where people started like, whoa, who's this kid? So I don't know. I think it's more so a coaching thing. I agree Payne is not that type of guy. So he probably loves this. And another thing too, I think that Tibbs is trying to conserve Randall because Randall has to do so much on both ends. That's like, we have our best player here. I don't want to tire this guy out. That's why maybe sometimes you saw it early on in the season, the second unit kind of run when Randall wasn't in there. So I don't know. It's weird. You're in a weird quagmire. Do you push the pace up for the benefit of everybody? Or do you try to go with what works in half court, which is kind of Randall right now, but, we're inconsistent regarding, wins and getting success from the other players. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think we got to get some of these other guys back. I mean, now Obi is here. He's good. He should be good at being able to run the floor, getting out. He hasn't really been knocking down that 3-point shot. But hopefully he can hit it. But he's a quick high flyer, knows how to run the lanes. Alec Burks, whenever he's going to get back, who knows when he's going to get back. I'm afraid when he finally does go to get it reevaluated, he's still going to be out. I didn't even think that it was that bad when he landed on whoever's foot it was. I didn't even think it was that bad. He continued to play. Clearly it was. I don't know what we're gonna do, man. Huh?
I'm sorry. It's confirmed he has an ankle injury now?
I don't know. I mean, I guess so because, he was out and then they said that he's going to be reevaluated a couple days ago. Said he's going to be reevaluated in 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, it was a high ankle sprain. I think it was worse than they thought it was because when it first happened, he came back in the game, but he went right back out. It was like he came and went right back out, and then that was a pretty tough injury because that dude, he came right down the line. His foot almost bent in half almost. So it was a pretty tough injury, man. That high ankle sprains is a hot mess in the NBA.
Right. So who knows how long it's going to be before he gets back and is able to do anything out there on the floor. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But Boston, I'm sorry. We play Cleveland.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Obi or Burks? I'm sorry. I apologize. Were you talking about Burks?
Burks.
Oh, crap. My bad. I'm thinking you guys said Obi because he only played, like a minute? I apologize. Whew, I got scared. Man. I thought it was
I was talking about Burks. I'm thinking with Obi. I'm thinking with Obi, he just didn't want to. I don't know. I'm thinking
he didn't have any contact. Full. I don't know what the word is.
Contact practice or anything like that. So why even put him out there for 57 seconds?
Bring him back slowly.
Right.
I mean, but why for 57 seconds? Why not just wait until tomorrow, let them have their practice tomorrow, and then put them in the game against Cleveland? Why put them in 57 seconds?
He probably he probably put him in there and realized that he probably thought that, well, let me see how he gonna, if he got his athleticism or whatever. He might have, you never know, he might have, the ankle might not have been break like they thought it was. He might say, you know
maybe. Hopefully we don't get the news that something happened. Like, he ran up and he felt something, tweaked something or something like that.
Lord.
I hope not. I hope not.
The next Antonio McDyess.
Don't say that. See that? Don't even put it in the universe.
The next Jerome James.
Put it out there in the universe, man. But Cleveland, now Jared Allen may be playing, right?
JaVale McGee.
Some big boys down there, man.
So, who knows what's going to happen, man.
They're going to move Drummond.
Drummond is a free agent this summer, so
I think they're gonna move him by the deadline.
Who's gonna take him? Who needs a plotting center with with not great defense?
The free agent market is bare anyway, so I don't see a team taking on a contract to try to save money. There's no incentive.
It all depends if who he going to. If you go about a contender, hey, even though they can, the money is come out the books, you got somebody in the Western Conference about to got a chance to go to a contender. They need a little piece. Drummond, you might not like his game, but the man put up 20-15 on a regular. Come on now, I mean, he ain't no scrub either. But a playoff team might say, you know what? We can eat this money for this year. He might get us over the hump, so don't never say never.
For half a year. They ain't even the whole year.
Right. Yeah, he might help a contender out. You know what I mean? You never know.
Like the Blazers? Who the Blazers got big men?
Right. I see that too.
The Clippers.
Oh, they got Cantor.
How about Denver?
The Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Denver.
Yeah, but what access do the
Miami? They got Bam on the bottom, but he
got him.
Yeah, but Ben plays center, though. Doesn't he play center for them? Yeah,
he plays power forward / I think it goes back and forth. I think they rotate him 5 and 4.
And they have not Baines. Who's the other dude? The one who's
Kelly Olynyk out there. He's the shooter.
Don't sleep on Denver.
Wait, Denver. Who they lost Mason Plumlee. They got Bo, but Bobo's not like a real he's not.
He ain't ready for nothing. He ain't ready for prime time.
I know Rob's gonna say that.
Yeah, that's a lot of centers, but you got what? Him, JaVale McGee. Now you got Jared Allen, and you got him, and so somebody about to get them numbers not playing. They're gonna play because my man been having a good year for the Nets. Jared Allen, he was 16 or something, so they're gonna get him some burn. It might be JaVale McGee or somebody. One of them dudes going to a contender, probably. I'll be honest with you. I don't know which one, but I know Jared Allen gonna play.
Yeah, Emmanuel quickly. The Knicks just posted another picture. Emmanuel quickly stayed in the gym out there getting some shots up.
Yes, sir.
Trying to. I mean, listen, he played well, shot well tonight, but he's out there getting some more shots up again. I'd like to see Emmanuel quickly instead of always doing that floater. A lot of times he has enough time to get up and go straight up and down and shoot that shot. You know what I'm saying? He gets in there and he throws up that floater real early instead of getting straight up and down to shoot that shot. I'd like to see him get straight up and down, and knock it down that way instead of shooting up that little floater. But there we go, man. The Knicks. Yeah, he bounced back. He bounced back.
That's good to see.
That's good to see. The Knicks lost tonight to the Brooklyn Nets, and while the score says 116-109, it definitely was not that close. They'll play Cleveland on Friday. They try to get off the schneid. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see what Tom Thibodeau has in store. I think there needs to be a few, just some, lineup adjustments. Try to make something happen. You know what I mean? Tony, I'm gonna start with you. I just want to get a couple last words from you. Want to remind everybody to check us out tomorrow morning as we do the shoot around show. We're gonna talk about shaking up the lineups and even shaking up the rosters. And if there's anybody out there that we should really consider going after, you heard that one dude talk about Isaiah Thomas. Is there anybody else out there? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Is it time for a shakeup already? At least in the lineups. I don't know how many people you can put out there. Maybe you need to go ahead with, you might as well just go ahead and start Jared Harper and start Theo Pinson.
And Brad Stakis.
and have Iggy. Yeah, there you go. Forget Theo Pinson. Start Jared Harper at point guard and put Theo Pinson at shooting at small forward. See what happens. Go ahead, Tony.
I'm a just have to sleep on this one, and I'll have my real thoughts tomorrow on the shoot around. So shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel. Your Blackest Time. Sim, keep doing your thing, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt. Jarrell, any last words?
Shout out to everybody in the MBK fam. Great show. RJ got his shooting touch back. Hopefully that'll lead into the next game also. I want Kevin Knox to start. He should start. I want Quickly to start too, but he probably not ready yet. But I really think Kevin Knox is ready. It should be over with him. Like he's still a question mark in a lot of areas, but give it to him now. There's no point of keeping him on the bench now. That's it.
Yeah. Nah, I agree with you. Devon?
For us Cleveland game, man, we just got to get that backcourt better played. We got played like I said tonight. Austin Rivers and Alpha Payton didn't show up tonight. I mean, Alpha Payton been playing good all year, so I'm not mad at him for that. But other than that jump shot, but I think our backcourt just got to. They're going up against Garland and Sexton if they playing. I'm glad that RJ came out as a little slump for a minute. That don't mean he totally out of it, but he did pretty good tonight. And him and Cleveland could do what they did tonight. And our backcourt starting backcourt could play better. I think we got a good chance to win the game. But definitely our starting backcourt, they got to do better than they did tonight. They was like 2 or 3 for like 20. I don't know, between both of them for a minute. So they was pretty terrible tonight. But I still think we can get the Cleveland game. Hopefully Top gets and make his first debut of the season, help us give us some more bodies out there. If Obi can kind of get that play, because I mean without Bullock, Burke, Frank, I mean them 3-point shooters right there, and Frank were having a good year shooting, so we missing them guys. So I still think once our team get back, we'd be right. But far as Friday, if our backcourt could play better than they played tonight, I think we got a chance to beat Cleveland.
Yeah. I want to see Taj get out there because Nerlens Noel really doesn't give us anything down there. He did catch one oop tonight from Elfrid Payton, but for the most part, he doesn't really give us much. He has no size to his body. He's not really, he'll block a couple of shots. At least Taj Gibson has some size, right, where he can throw around a little bit, throw about a little bit of size and help to muck it up a little bit more. Because when Mitch is out, when Mitch and Randall are out, I mean, we're not getting any rebounds. We're not rebounding the basketball. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I can't wait to get Taj Gibson back in there. Mark.
Yo, Sim, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're back on the tube. Shout out to the haters. Stop hating on Sim, man. The dude run a PG show. Leave him alone, man. Go somewhere else with that. But other than that, if we lose to Cleveland, man, we need to pack ourselves up and find ourselves on Skid Row.
Oh, you happy? You fade for Clay. You already know. You won't.
Oh yeah, you know I'm fading. Yo, Rob, as I'm fading right now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep calling you out every time you start something.
Listen, y'all know
Stay true to what you want.
Listen,
you wrapping it up until next year.
There you go, Rob. Listen, I make people know my intentions, man. And listen, it's not that this team is allowing it to happen. They was winning, and now they losing.
Yeah, but when they was winning, you was hating it, boy. I couldn't stand you.
You go front. It was disgusting watching y'all so smiling it up for them 5 games. But other than that, Sid, keep pushing these shows, keep these haters mad. Shout out to the superstar Gammo. He's on your show tonight. He got his own thing right now. Everybody in the chat, I love y'all, man. I exhausted myself tonight. I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
And the name again on show is Legion of Knicks. You can say the name of his show, Mark, Legion of Knicks podcast.
Oh, yo, listen, man. Yo, Legion, man, I love you, man. Appreciate the time you have me on there. You the new superstar.
Oh.
You the new superstar. Yo, listen. Ain't nothing wrong, man. Yo, you doing your thing out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to MBK. Salute to everybody here, man.
Yo, I know you're not used to people bigging you up, Gammo, but it's okay to get a compliment, man. We all deserve it,
Listen
man.
to this dude,
We
man.
all deserve it, man.
Digging a knife in. Keep going.
Yo, as black people, we need to learn how to take compliments, man, and run with it. But y'all have a good night, man. Yo, Rob, stop hating on me, bro.
Yeah,
Rob,
I got you. All right, I got you.
Go ahead.
Pull out one day, Rob.
All right, no doubt.
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
Kevin Knox missed one shot tonight, only one shot, and he played 22 minutes. Increase Kevin Knox's minutes, give him some burn, put him in the starting lineup like I've been preaching for. And RJ Barrett, I'm glad he had a bounce back game in the second half, but can he continue to do this consistently? We'll see. But Kevin Knox needs to be in the starting lineup. They need to be able to stretch the floor out. And Mitchell Robinson is not getting in foul trouble. He has definitely improved. He is definitely getting developed and definitely getting coached right. So we'll see what the Knicks can do on Friday, and hopefully the guard play improves.
Yeah, Kevin Knox is definitely, Mitchell Robinson is definitely growing. Still, I thought he was going to shoot it tonight.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was going to shoot. He had his chances. He had his chances.
It was like two times.
Right, exactly. At least twice he had his chances to let it go. He didn't even look towards. Didn't even look towards the basket. You know
Robinson on Will Chamberlain.
I think he peeked at it. It was one time in the fourth. He peeked at it like he was like, nah.
Look, this is what he posted yesterday, right? He said, "F it, it's time to bring it out." Show himself shooting the ball. Nothing. I guess DeAndre Jordan saw that, and after he dunked on him with the alley-oop, Mitch said, "Never mind." Mitch said, "Never mind." That was bad. That was bad. I ain't gonna front. That was bad. I was like, oh, come on,
Mitch
man.
is just a kid, man. He finding his way, man.
Yeah.
Of course he is, but he still got dunked on.
Right.
It don't matter if you find your way or not. He still got dunked on.
But Mitch caught him early in the game.
And then
he did.
And then a couple plays later, DeAndre Jordan came down, put his shoulder dead in Mitch's chest. Boom. Just moved him out the way.
Teacher and the student.
Yeah, yep. Exactly. Rob, man, some last words, Rob.
Yeah, we got Kevin Knox, start quickly. Mitch, hold on to that shot. It's gonna cost us $200 million. Don't show nobody yet. In the contract. Keep it in the bag. Keep it in the bag until we get you signed. See that shot, boy. He unleashed that shot. You know how much that gonna cost us?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Guillermo, got some last words, man?
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, we got 2 posters already this season, man. When Kevin Knox got his ankles, you got Antonio Daniels.
Oh, man.
That was bad, man. We got to stop with this, man. I don't even care to play defense anymore. If we're not going to the playoffs, man, just don't get posters, man. Mitchell Robinson, that one hurt my heart, man. Like, I was hoping he tripped or something happened. It was just...
Nah, I know. And he got the foul.
Yeah. He was on the floor. Like, he was on the floor.
He fell on the floor, fell over. I was like, oh, damn.
I was just screaming like, God, don't do that to him. But
that boy lower body hurts, man. I'm telling you. It's weak down.
Look, for me personally, man, look, Knox, again, I'd have him in the starting lineup at the 3. I would start Rivers, I guess, as a 1, but have more of an offense that's predicated on passing versus, dribble from a point guard versus then pass off. Again, quickly, Rivers, RJ, Knox, keep him in that corner. The kid is shooting, before tonight's game, he was shooting 55% from the corner threes off of like 47% attempts, which is double from last season. So that's a sweet spot. Keep him there, build the kid's confidence up. He could be a weapon to kill his zones. And Mitchell Robinson, man, in games where we're losing, you know what, with Mitchell Robinson, man, these guys got to be, look, he got dunked on. You know what? I actually take it opposite, Sim. He got dunked on. What's the worst that can happen? You got embarrassed.
Exactly.
Okay. What is the worst? You're gonna shoot an air ball? I've seen superstars shoot air balls. It's gonna break up the glass. the rest of these players are shooting bricks off the glass. That's why we keep losing. If Mitchell Robinson could develop even just a mid-range shot, he opens up this offense for probably 20 to 30%.
Facts.
Someone has to put it in his head like, look, I'm not asking you to go out there and save this team, but just give me 5 attempts a game. I don't care if you miss. Thibodeau has to put it like, yo, Randall, all these guys, if you guys get Mitchell Robinson to shoot 5 shots a game, do like a reverse bounty gate. I'll pay.
That man is not shooting that ball because he don't want to.
I think Tibbs don't want him to shoot it.
I think the coach don't want him to shoot.
I think that's Tibbs.
I don't know. I disagree, man. I think he's nervous to shoot the ball.
I don't care how sorry you is.
Wait, hold up, sir. Divine, if he's not supposed to shoot the ball, why would Johnny Bryant be working with him and Obi on shooting?
Well, not yet.
Exactly.
No, but why work with him?
I think it's this here, Durmo. I think because Mitchell Robinson's scared if he missed that shot, Thibodeau might say, no, that ain't your game. I'm pulling you to the bench. I don't think he don't want to shoot it because he's not confident. Because we even seen in his play video, the cat was shooting 3. They're like he can't do it. I just think that he's scared to shoot that shot because, like, when he was coach under Fizdale, they do something wrong, they'll pull you in a minute. Boom, you out the game. I think he still got that stigma from when Fizdale was coaching them. And every time them cat do something boneheaded, Fizdale will snatch him out. He won't let him grow. I don't think Tibbs. I think he's scared that if he do that shot, Tibbs might like that ain't the offense we running, and he might be a little fragile in that point. Not saying, but I agree with you. I think he should shoot it. I don't know if he's scared to shoot it or that's what Tibbs them just don't want to do.
The focus with Mitchell Robinson is his defense, and his defense is getting better, and he's playing disciplined defense, not fouling out. Let's be content with that for right now, and let's not worry about the jump shot
Play
later.
To your strengths. Play to your strengths.
Not right now.
Play to your strength. But if you're practicing with Johnny Bryant on those shots, right, you can at least pull 1, pull 2. Because it would never make sense to have an assistant coach unless you have some weird civil war between the coaches, that a coach is working with you night in and night out on your jump shot with other players. Like he's including you with Obi, and y'all working on your hook shot. Mind you took a hook shot against Gobert, and it was ugly, but he took it, right?
I like a hook shot, but not a outside jump shot. I
said mid-range. I said if he just had at least a mid-range.
Even a mid-range.
Yeah, mid-range is fine. I agree with that. Mid-range is fine.
I think it's more Tibbs,
but he gets open. I mean, he gets open from that spot, and there's nobody around him or even close to him. Wide open. Just give it a go. You might hit the rim.
But don't ask question. Y'all don't think Tibbs tell Mitchell Robinson if that was the case? I know Tibbs see that every game. I'm quite sure Tibbs would say Mitchell Robinson shoot that ball. I'm quite sure Tibbs would tell him that.
I don't know.
Shoot the ball.
Yeah,
come on.
Man.
It
could maybe. I mean, you heard Tibbs in the timeout. It was like, if you're open, shoot it. You're open, shoot the ball. I don't think he said. I don't think he's like, if you're open, shoot it, and then not you. I don't think he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'd love to see him shoot it now. Don't get me wrong. I agree with y'all 100%. I would love to see Mitch pop that J because I think he got a good shot on his form to hit it.
He makes free throws, bro.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if I don't think he's scared though. I just think that they not allow him to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they ain't allowing him.
The NBA does that to big men like that. They bring in these guys and expect them to play just that role and not try to expand them game. That's why the NBA lately, when it comes to big men, they try to put them in this box, and I don't like that. And that's what's happening with Mitch. They just expect him to be a rim running center.
Well, I don't know. Tom Thibodeau, he was asked about it, and he said, the offense is coming. You just haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? So I don't think Tom Thibodeau. I don't think so.
That says Tibbs is controlling it. Tibbs is contrgame.
He's controlling this shit.
I don't know. Listen, I'm telling you, before every game, he is out there with Obi. They are working on a jump hook. They are working on a 3-point shot. A coach like Tom Thibodeau is not going to have you working on a 3-point shot if you're not going to use it. How many times have you heard a coach say, don't throw that ball from half court, you're not going to use that in the game? Tom Thibodeau is not going to have Mitch working on a 3-point shot if he does not intend for him to use it.
No, you're right.
It would make no sense.
He's holding them right now.
Think about this here. They don't even put him in the post. You know, that's the thing. They don't even post Mitch. So unless a jump shot, they don't even post the dude.
But they're working.
Play some post moves.
But they're working on that jump hook. They're working on it. I guess maybe they're waiting. Maybe it's something that they want to see. They want to see him hit it consistently, right? Because he hasn't been making the jump hook. He's working on the jump hook, but it's not consistent.
When they go 5 and 20, that's when they're gonna bring him out.
When they run that little handoff with him, I get tired of just seeing them just pass the ball to attempt to take the ball and try to dribble it at least close to the basket. He just hands off, and it's like, that's all you're gonna do. Try to do offensively. He has to at least attempt to try to even take the ball off the dribble a little bit and cause some collapse, man. That handoff.
I know. Because he doesn't even look at the rim. Everyone knows exactly. He catches the ball and looks right towards whoever he needs to hand the ball off to. Like, coming to you. You know,
that's what Joakim Noah used to do, basically.
No one was more than that, bro. Don't play yourself. No one was more than that, bro.
Okay, Mark.
Think about this, Mark. Okay. 95% of Mitchell Robinson, this is what he do the whole game. Soon he run out and throw a pick. That's all they do with him. Just run out and throw a pick. All he do is throw a pick. Yo, they need to leave that boy down in the middle. Stop running all the time to try to get somebody a pick to go around and keep him down in the post and throw him a couple of balls down there. All Mitch do every game. Every time we watch the Knicks, he run out and throw a screen every single play.
Well, Devon, is because our guards can't really get to
I agree with that.
That's the reason. They have to run picks.
All he do. He just go throw picks.
Yo, Josh.
They're not even good picks.
Yo, Josh.
Yeah, right. Hold up. Yeah. Hold up, Mark. Let me get the Prince. Go ahead, Prince. Give me your last. Let me get you unmuted here. Let me get your last words, man, because I'm gonna head up out of here. Go ahead, Prince.
Man, like I said, these gonna be some.
Oh, my bad, Prince. Go ahead. You got it?
Cock block.
There you go.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna have some ups and downs with these Knicks, as we all know. But again, as long as we see a consistency that these guys are growing and learning, that's all we can really ask for. Like we said, tomorrow, Sim, we're gonna have to sleep on this one. But yeah, it's gonna have to be some shaking up, man. I don't know how much longer. I don't think we can make it a quarter of a season like this with the type of play we got, because I think that might start to stifle the growth of some of the guys. So again, man. Salute to Chet, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep this thing going. Everybody who came and support, make sure y'all come for shoot around. Come check us out at Ball Street Report. We're gonna have that popping too. But yeah, man, nothing but Knicks for life, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm heading out for real. We got our last words. Jack Peters was just laughing. He's like, last words. Oh, I'm gonna sit back. It's gonna be another 45 minutes, right? But we got our last words in, and yeah, make sure you check me out tomorrow morning at 11:30, man. Everything you're feeling tonight, you'll have a chance to sleep on it. Then we'll get tomorrow morning. We're gonna talk about, what will Tom Thibodeau talk to the guys about in shoot around tomorrow morning. Right? That's what the shoot around is about. So make sure you join us tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. The link for the video is already in it's pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. So go ahead and check that out. Everybody on Twitch, Facebook, NBKFam.com. Make sure you check me tomorrow at 11:30 as we do the shoot around show. We'll talk about some other stuff going on in the NBA. Of course, we'll talk about, the James Harden trade and, everything else is going on. Mark will be talking about Kristaps Porzingis returning tonight and all that stuff. All right, so make sure you check me out. Go on over to Lawrence Tears. They're live right now. You want to talk some more Knicks, they're going to be on till about 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, so you can go ahead and go check that out. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, 11:30, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful. Tough loss for the Knicks, but, what can we do, ladies and gentlemen? Tough loss for the Knicks. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. If you got a chance to rest, think about it. We'll talk about some lineup changes. Maybe we need to go out and get a point guard, break down some NBA stuff. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. Out of here. energy.